It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Hey, today I have a milestone. This is my 400th video, and I thought, you know what? For 400 videos, I got to bring a special guest on. So I reached out to Cheryl Weedmark, and Cheryl heads up Rick Lambert's Into Communications company. And you know what? She's doing some phenomenal things, and the reason she's doing phenomenal things is because she has a phenomenal background, and I wanted to highlight that background here today. Cheryl, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Congratulations on 400 shows. That is an unbelievable milestone for you. Good job, Ray.
You know, I started in March of 2018. The first episodes were called A Minute with Ray. I bet a lot of people probably wish I kept these damn things to a minute. But, you know, I did those for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 months, and I was doing them once a week. And then I said, you know what, I'm going to do the end of the day with Ray, and off and running we went. But it's been great through this pandemic, you know, to be able to give the message out in this venue, and I've gotten to interview some great people. You're one of them. So, you know, I was talking to Rick about you a little bit. A lot of people don't know your story. But, you know, Cheryl, she was on TV, so that's a big thing. I talk about doing 400 videos where you're on TV every single day. Tell us a little bit about you and your career, because it's a fascinating story.
I mean, I definitely have a bit of a unique background. Certainly, originally started in television, as you mentioned. My background is in journalism from an education perspective. Worked on a morning show here in London, Canada, for a network, CTV television, and hosted the morning show for almost 10 years. And along with that comes training in weather and sports and anchoring and producing and reporting. So it was a really unbelievable 10 years for me in my career. Did a bit of a shift after 10 years and went over into an insurance company, one of Canada's largest financial institutions here in Canada, and headed up the media production department there, and along with a manager that I had and a great role model of mine as well, and had another 7 years of being able to work in video production specifically. So that's why, you know, video is always a huge component and a huge conversation that we have with our clients. Everything from, you know, broadcast commercials to internal communication. So certainly I have a passion and have experience being in front of the camera, but also from a strategy perspective and understanding of why video is so important. So, and now here I am, very blessed to have the opportunity to work with the one and only Rick Lambert. I've been there for about a year and almost a year and a half now, and it's been very exciting. We've had, you know, a lot of changes and a lot of things to celebrate over the year and a half.
Well, you know, it's exciting. I remember when Rick was talking to me about hiring you. He said, man, this girl's got so much talent. And I said, well, you know, talent is something you got to pay for, one, and talent is something you need if you want to diversify. But, you know, it's fantastic because, you know, Rick, we all know Rick Lambert. He came out of the copier business. Toner's been in his veins for a long, long time. You know, he has this company called Sell to Win where he's been helping educate salespeople in that channel, and he's also went outside the channel in his training. He's been doing that more and more over the last few years, diversified well. His Into Communications platform, I mean, you're not just focused on the copier industry, and it's because you have all these other focuses, you know, it seems to me that would be a real asset. Because when you look inside the channel today, you might see marketing companies, but their whole business model is really around the imaging channel or these copier dealers, and they're not really looking outside, or they might be missing something. Am I right in thinking that? I mean, does it help?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's interesting because when I did start working with Rick, initially, we really were focused on the copier industry as a whole. And I'd say probably that was about 95% of our clients. And so since then, we've really gone outside of that. We're working with, you know, major business education facilities. We're working with, you know, railway companies, restoration companies. We just, you know, started doing some work for a company that makes silicone products internationally around the world. And so the nice thing is that, you know, a lot of the tactics that we talk about and we apply with clients within the copier space, we can also do outside of that. And there's a lot of things that we learn. So sometimes, you know, if it's video content or whatever it might be on social media that we're doing, we can take that message and create it for clients outside in any space. So it's been a really good change, and it's been exciting for us to be able to sort of dabble in various industries, learn a lot of stuff along the way, and we're really excited to see what comes.
I got to go back to the TV thing. So I was doing some research on Cheryl. Here I see her on this big billboard over a highway in Canada. So you made it on a billboard. That's, you know, that's a big deal. I mean, once you get on a billboard, obviously you hit it, right? That's the home run. So when you were at the television station doing that morning show, did you get to interview any famous people?
Oh, all the time. I say for me, I sort of had a bit of a niche market that I focused on, which was politics. So I had an opportunity and the pleasure to work with prime ministers and to interview prime ministers such as Paul Martin and, Stephen Harper, and the list goes on. And then athletes as well. I have, a professional figure skating background. And so for me to be able to interview these role models and these icons that I grew up worshiping and watching was just absolutely a dream come true. No one, if I could go back and tell my 10-year-old self trying to land a double axel that I was in 15 years going to be interviewing your role model, Elizabeth Manley, who was my role model, still is my role model, I wouldn't have believed it. So in high school, this is a quick story because I know everyone likes stories. Rick's taught me how to tell good stories. I grew up and had a picture of Elizabeth Manley in my locker in high school, and people make fun of me all the time. And for those that don't know, Elizabeth Manley won the silver medal in the 1988 Olympics, which were actually here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And then, 15 years later on the morning show, hosting the morning show, being able to not just interview Elizabeth Manley, but wear that silver medal around my neck was absolutely incredible. So that's one moment I would say in my career history. Elvis Stoico is another one, obviously figure skating, a lot of hockey players, a lot of basketball players, politicians, as I mentioned, some musicians, which were always good stories to tell. The musicians always brought some color to the show, we'll say.
Well, here's a question for you. Is it a policy there at Rick Lambert's companies that you have to be able to skate? I mean, he got the hockey player, you got you, the figure skater. I mean, do y'all have parties where y'all just go out and skate around a ring somewhere?
All the time. Actually, that's what we do in Canada. Rick's got a rink in his backyard. We throw on some skates. I think that's something that Rick and I have in common. We have that sort of professional athlete background and training, which, has been a really good compliment for working with him. Sure. We kind of speak the same language, and it's kind of nice. We argue a little bit, toe pick, no toe pick, what team are you cheering for in hockey, but it's certainly, we have a lot of conversations around that for sure.
Well, sales is about competitiveness, and it's really about winning. The more you know of your craft, the better odds you are to win. And that's same in marketing. If you hire a marketing company that doesn't quite get the message, that doesn't quite understand the persona of the customer you're going after, it could be a disaster. And marketing and training is a lot alike. You can invest wisely, or you can invest cheaply, as I would say, but you always get what you pay for. Well, it's fantastic. I mean, you have obviously a fantastic career. I saw some of the videos when you were working with Canada Life, the financial company up there in Canada. And are you going to do that for some of our dealer friends? I mean, will you do, could they hire you guys and you could be the face or do the video for them?
Well, actually, it's interesting that you say that, especially, given the pandemic that we've all been, trying to adapt through over the last 6 months. We've been doing a lot of virtual events because, as you know, a lot of our clients are in the United States and some in Canada too. And so certainly I've been a liaison and a bit of an MC trying to navigate some of those conversations virtually to an audience that otherwise would be at a conference or a road show. Sure. So we've been doing a lot of those things, and I've done some on-camera work for some, and then depending on what their request is, but certainly coaching as well. So helping a lot of these executives in the copier industry, I'll say as an example, who have never done videos or have never been on camera and aren't really comfortable with doing that. It's been really great for me to be able to share some of my experiences and help them feel comfortable in front of the camera. Give them a few tools, give them a few tips, things that have always worked for me. And it's been nice to see some of those people that maybe have never thought about doing video, all of a sudden now starting to create that video content. It's pretty rewarding.
No, I love it. I always tell people, if you want to see really bad videos, just go to the first one of 400. Because those first videos, oh my
practice
God.
makes perfect.
I remember
right?
reading stuff. It's like, holy crap, this is terrific. But I left them on there just for nostalgia. But you're right. It's all what you put into it, like anything. And it's fantastic that our industry, that Rick brought in some talent really to help our industry. So congratulations. I think you've been there a year now. So kudos on that. And we look forward to seeing you more and more, Cheryl. Especially, this thing will end soon. We'll all be out at our conventions, and I look forward to seeing you guys again. Is there anything you want to say before we end?
No, I just want to say thank you to you for the opportunity. This is the second time that I've been on the show. It's always great having conversations with you, and thank you to Rick Lambert and also to everybody at Sell to Win and the fantastic team that we have there, Devin, Melissa, Shelby, Safina, I could go on, Vinny, Eric, John. I don't leave anybody out. Yeah. But it's just, we have a really fantastic team of very talented individuals, and it really is truly a pleasure to be able to interact and collaborate with them every day. So just a big thank you to that, and to our customers. So, one thing, Ray, quickly before we go, it's been interesting. A lot of our customers, as I mentioned, are not here in Canada. But because of everything that's been going on with the pandemic, having video conversations like what we're doing right now has allowed me to actually get in front of a client that, on any other day I might not see physically.
Sure.
So I've gotten to know everybody. I've gotten to know the client's kids, their pets' names, what their house looks like, the weather. And it's actually it's been really great sort of getting a little bit deeper in terms of our relationship with them. So thank you to the clients and, of course, the team. And to you. And congratulations, Ray, 400 shows.
That's got 400 more to go at least, right?
I think you beat me on that one, actually.
Well, we all know this, Cheryl. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo. We'll see y'all tomorrow.